Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is my very first video of 2019, so happy new year to everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a very natural, everyday, like wearable makeup look, but I'm going to be featuring all of the products that I'm including in my first project pan. So if you missed that video where I talked about like why I chose to include these particular products in a project pan, you can check the video out up here. So I'm going to be showing y'all like how I'm going to be using the products, and this is pretty much like how I'm going to be doing my makeup a lot over the next few months, because I want to try and use these products up. And it's a relatively easy makeup routine that I can do if I choose to wear like a full face of makeup to work, which I normally don't do. But if I just want to throw something on to work, or I'm just throwing something on because I'm just running out wherever I'm going, I want to try to use these products quite a bit so that I can, you know, use up as much as I possibly can. So this is the finished look. I did run into a little snag with the eyeshadow, which you will see when we get into the tutorial, but I do hope that you like the way that the look came out. So before we get into the tutorial, if this is your first time here, my name is Sonia. I go by Sister Philly on YouTube. I really hope that you'll consider subscribing to my channel today. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. And for those of you who are already subscribed and you're already supporting me, thank you so much for your continued support, and thank you for coming back today. All right, let's get started. Okay, so not all of the products that I'm using today are going to be in the project pan, so I'll tell you which ones are and which ones are not. So this first one is not a project pan item, but I'm going to be starting off with the NYX Dewey Finish Setting Spray. I'm using this first because I just want to give my face just a little bit more hydration, because I'm going to be going in with a matte foundation and it is winter time. So I'm just going to put an even amount of this all over my face. And I'm going to let this dry down just a little bit. I don't want it to dry down completely because I do want to kind of sort of have this mixed in with my foundation. So next I'm going in with my Fenty Beauty Foundation in the color 340 and 380. So this color 340 is a project pan item. You guys can see like how much I have left. I don't think it's going to take me too long to finish this off. The 380 one is not really included in the project pan. Sometimes I mix these two together and sometimes I use the 340 by itself. So today I am going to mix them just because. So I'm going to do like equal parts of both shades. And I like putting my foundation on my cheeks because that's where I have, or that's where I want the most coverage because of my dark marks and my hyperpigmentation. So I'm going to be blending this out with a brush today. Sometimes I will blend this foundation out with a sponge. For this particular foundation, I kind of don't have a preference. Like I do have, there are some foundations where I would gravitate toward a brush and then others a sponge. This one I kind of don't have a preference. So I feel like I'm just using a brush today because they're easier to clean. I just don't feel like cleaning my sponge out. When I use a matte finish foundation, I put just a very little bit under my eyes because I am gonna go on top of that area with a concealer anyway. So I just don't think it's necessary to put a whole lot of foundation right on my under eye area. I may go in with a little bit more if I was using something like the Too Faced Born This Way, because that foundation has a very natural finish to it. But when I'm using something that's pretty matte, I don't want like that, all of that matteness like right under my eye. And speaking of under eye concealer, I'm going in with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This isn't one of my project pan items because I know that I'm gonna use this stuff up, so I didn't feel the need to challenge myself to pan it. In this particular concealer, I am in the color Mocha. So I'm going to be putting on a good amount of this under my eye and on my chin and forehead. and I'm going to be blending this out with another brush. This is the F5 brush from ColourPop. I told y'all in my last few videos that when you blend out your under eye concealer with a brush, it gives you a little bit more coverage as opposed to a sponge, because it's not going to shear the product out as much as a damp sponge. And it does take longer to do this with a brush, but I think the coverage level is a little better. Sometimes I will blend it out with a sponge if I'm just doing like, I just want like a quick something on my face and I'm not really trying to be like super precise or anything like that, or I just don't have as much time. But if you want like more coverage from the same amount of concealer, then try blending it out with a brush. So I haven't been setting my under eye area because that part of my face has been kind of dry lately, and I don't think that this foundation needs to be set with a powder because it does have quite a powdery finish on its own. So we are going to skip setting powder altogether, and I have you zoomed in a little bit because we're going to go right into the eyes. I already have my eyebrows done, and I already have some concealer on my lids. So we're going to go into my next project pan item. This is the MAC Prissy Princess palette, and this is what it looks like. This used to be like my everyday palette, and I do think I'll be able to use this very much because the colors are just kind of like everyday to me. So I'm going to start off with this dark brown shade here. I'm going to use that as my transition today. So I'm going to put this kind of like right in my crease area and blend that out. I feel like I just put way too much of this color on, but I'll have to work it out. I didn't want this look to be like super smoky because I do want this to be like an everyday look. So I feel like that's more product than I wanted, but just to keep it consistent, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So it's gonna take me a little bit to blend this color out. All right, that took a long time to blend out, but that's because I put too much product on to begin with. But now I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna put, I'm gonna start off with this color here, and I'm gonna put that on the outer part of my lid. I'm just gonna pack it on this outer area right here. And then I'm gonna take this peachy color on the end and I'm gonna put that on the rest of my lid. I am going to wet this color because I do know that it just gets a bit more vibrant when you apply it wet. And what I'm gonna do is, because I feel like I put a whole lot of that transition shade on, I'm gonna see if I can maybe cover it up a little bit, and then I may have to go back and play around with it again, but I just feel like it's a whole lot of that color on there. I'm gonna pick up that first brush that I used to apply the dark brown shade, and I'm just gonna go over this area right here in the middle. I'm just trying to soften it out just a little bit. And then I'm gonna pick up just a little tiny bit more of the brown shade so I can just finish this section off right here and make it look just a little bit more complete. And because I want this to be like an everyday, like wearable type look, I'm not gonna put anything on my lower lash line. I'm just gonna take the brush that I use to apply my concealer and just kind of like brush off the edges here a little bit. This look is still, like the eye look is still just a bit more smoky than I wanted. But I do think that this is still like wearable for daytime. I'm going to take a little bit more of this peachy shade and I'm going to use that to highlight underneath my brow. All right, we're going to finish off the eyes in just a little bit. Now we're going to move on to bronzer. This is not one of my project pan items. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in 40 Dark. And let me see if I can show y'all what this looks like. I like using this as a bronzer. It's meant to be like a finishing powder, but I like using this as a bronzer because it does have like a subtle like red tone to it. So I think that it works very well with my skin tone, because I like for my bronzers to run like red as opposed to like golden and yellow. So I'm just going to apply this to my forehead. And then depending on like how I'm wearing my hair, like you'll be able to see when I put my hair down. Like I may not bother to do my entire forehead if I feel like my hair is covering that anyway. So I'm just kind of like hitting the points of my forehead where you can actually like see the product. I'm gonna put a little bit more like on my cheekbones and my jawbone. I'm picking up some of the powder on a smaller brush and I'm gonna very lightly bronze my nose. This is my everyday blush, so I decided not to include it in the project pan. This is from Note Cosmetics and this is the Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in Desert Rose. Even though I still have a long ways to go with this, I know that I'm going to hit pan on it. So to me, it wasn't going to be too much of a challenge if I tried to pan it. So that's why I didn't include it in the project, because I wanted to pick products that I thought would be like a little bit more challenging to finish off. But this is my everyday blush, so I don't know how long it's going to take, but I know I'm going to finish this off, and I know I'm going to be repurchasing it when I get pretty close to that. So I'm just using this to flush my cheeks just a little bit. And then moving on to my highlighter, this is a project pan item. This is the Pur Sculptor Palette, and it comes with 2 highlight and 2 contour shades. So I am trying to pan these 2 shades. A couple of y'all suggested that I try to use these 2 shades as eyeshadows, and I am going to try to do that, but I don't think it's going to be easy for me to try to pan these as eyeshadows as well as using some of the brown shades in here, so we'll see. But thank y'all for that suggestion. So I am going to try. I'm not going to be using these 2 colors today though. I'm going to focus on these 2 for my highlight. So I'm going to just do an equal mix of both of these colors for my cheek highlight today. And I think it's actually going to be pretty easy for me to pan these because the consistency of this is like really soft and powdery. I'm trying to show y'all. I don't know if y'all can see, but like this one down here, I already kind of dented a little bit because it's so soft and powdery. And I feel like you use quite a bit of the product pretty fast because of the consistency of it. All right, I'm going back into the MAC eyeshadow palette, and I think I'm going to mix these 2 shades together, this one and the silvery shade. I think I'm going to mix them together and use that as my inner corner highlight. I was going to use this shade by itself, but I'm thinking it might be a little too silvery to go with the highlighter because the highlighter is kind of yellow and golden. So let me see what it looks like when I mix these 2 together. Yeah, I like that. It's still nice and peachy. I do think it's like a nice even mix of both colors coming out. So we're gonna stick with that for inner corner highlight. I'm gonna set everything in place with the Wet n Wild Matte Finish Spray. This is not a project pan item. I'm gonna do my mascara and my eyeliner off camera. Neither one of these are pan items, but this is the NYX matte liquid liner, and this is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. So I'm gonna put these two on off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I have two lip products that I'm including in my project pan, and I'm not sure, like I can't decide which one I want to use. So I think what I'm going to do is show you the lipstick first, and then we'll see like what it looks like with just the lipstick, and then I'm going to top it with the lip gloss just so that I can use both of them in this video. So the lipstick is the Maybelline matte lipstick in brown blush. This is a very, very popular like pinky nude lipstick. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to throw this on first. I love this lipstick. Like, this is my first time putting this lipstick on in quite some time, but now that I have it on, I'm remembering why I love it so much. Like, I really don't want to top it with a lip gloss. Now, I will say I don't really feel like this lipstick goes with the eye look, even though I do feel like it's kind of like a universal pinky blush. I feel like the lip gloss would have looked a little better with this look, but we'll see. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. It doesn't look bad, but it's not like the best like eye and lip pair to me, but y'all can let me know what y'all think. But anyway, so this would be the finished look without the lip gloss, and now I'm going to show y'all my second project pan item. This is the Fenty Beauty, was this called Gloss Bomb? I can't even see the thing anymore, but I think the name of this color is called Gloss Bomb. So now I'm just gonna top my lipstick with some of this. Okay, I do kind of wish I had put on the lip gloss first so y'all could see that by itself, and then maybe just wipe that off and put the lipstick on, but kind of too late for that. But anyway, this is the finished look. This is using all of my project pan items, so you're getting a feel for like the makeup look that I'm going to be wearing on most days when I'm just going out and want to put some makeup on. And if I decide to wear makeup to work, which I usually don't wear like a full face, this is pretty much what I'm going to be wearing. I'm not going to have like such a, I guess, like sultry eye look every day because I went in a little hard with that brown color. But I feel like on most days I would probably use, maybe like mix these two colors as my transition, because this one here is going to be too light on its own, or maybe just, you know, just try to train my hand and just not be so heavy-handed with this brown color. However, with the eyes coming out the way that they did, it's making me realize that this is also a good palette to transition a look from day to night, because I can start out with lighter brown and then add more into it, or maybe even add some more of the brown onto the outer lid instead of using, this is the color here that I have on my outer lid. So this is part of the reason why I decided to do a project pan, because I'm starting to learn a little bit more about like how to utilize what I have in different ways. So outside of that, I probably will just keep going back and forth between the lipstick or the lip gloss. I probably won't use both together like this on most days. I have been carrying this pretty much every day since I started the project pan, but I do need to use this a little bit more because I just feel like I haven't really used it. This is actually my first time actually using it since I started the project pan. But anyway, I really hope that y'all liked this video. If you did, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section. I would really appreciate it. And I really hope to see y'all back for my next video. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.